Hello everyone and welcome to This is Defiance. I haven't done one of these in a while and I used to do them regularly but took a bit much time to make them, to be honest, and it didn't really work for me. But as I said, when I stopped doing the most time consuming shows, I would do some of them sometimes when it suited me. And to be honest, this one really suited me. Now, those of you who follow my blog next to the YouTube channel already know that I have been started a new experiment for me, which is reviewing television series. And to start it off, I started with Defiance because I already wanted to watch the series and it looked quite interesting to do.
We got more hellbugs incoming.
So, seeing as the show has a tie-in to the game, I thought might be a nice time to also do a bit about the game. So first, a little background info. Most of these you can find either in the blog post with each episode or on the Defiance wiki, which is also named in the source on the blog post. It goes a bit like this. In a distant solar system, the smart guys figured out that they would be wiped out, and they made giant arcs in which they went to the Earth. The journey took them some 5,000 years, and they thought that Earth would be abandoned so they could claim it as their own. These races are called the Votans. There are 8 races in total. As far as I know, 7 of them have made it to Earth, and one of those races is wasn't really supposed to come along, but it's just a general bad guy. I haven't seen him in game yet, but if you have seen the pilot of the show, you know that the Volge are that race. In the series, we have 2 main races next to the humans, of course, are the Castidans and the Erethians. And in the game at the moment, we have 2 playable races, which are human and Erethian. Although I have heard rumors that the DLC of this game will allow you to play another race. So, as I used to do with this show, I'm going to show you a bit of the options to start. It's an MMO third-person shooter, so most of these things are a bit a hybrid between MMO and shooters. Of course, we have a few basic gameplay options, not really interesting. I still have them on default settings. We have the video options, which also aren't really that interesting. For those of you who noticed, I like to keep everything really low because it allows my system to do much more than just play a game. I usually have something else running alongside it, and if I pull all my resources to the game, it tends to slow everything down a bit. But yeah, it runs pretty fine with just this. We have a few basic audio options. Luckily we have subtitles because of course it sometimes gets a bit hard to understand everything, especially if an event is going on and everyone is shooting. We have some basic control options. If you want to remap your controls, you can choose to do so. But I've learned to play with the basic settings, so I'm not really going to change anything right now. And we have a few account settings. It's all pretty basic. Now, like I said, we have 2 starting races, which are humans and Erethians. This character is Erethian. You also have 4 backgrounds, and in this game it all means absolutely nothing, except the background will um, will indicate which starter weapons you get. I chose for an Erathian machinist, which means that I have a light machine gun for starters, and to be honest I already forgot what the second one was, because I just chose something which I really liked. Now the story goes, for those who follow the show you already know this.
I'm detecting more hellbugs on their way.
The Photons were trying to get seek refugees on Earth. Of course, humans, at least the supremists, tend to disagree. It ended in a big war, in which the ships still floated around in space, and one way or another somebody blew them all up. Most of them are out there in a debris ring around Earth. Only a few came down, but the aliens took with them some terraforming technology to make the Earth more like their own home.
Those bugs are just a pile of goo now. Nice shooting.
Of course, when some of these arcs came down in that event, the terraforming spears which were on board went a bit haywire, and thus this is Earth. The show runs in St. Louis, or at least around it, but we have this area is mostly around San Francisco. If you zoom out a bit, this is the San Francisco area. This is the Golden Gate Bridge, or at least the part that's left of it. It was a bit blown up around some spaces. As you can see, we have all kinds of things which are going on all the time. We have our main missions, which unlock side missions. Once you're done side missions, they stop. You can do them again. We have two other types of side missions, which are the time trials, which is just racing, to be honest. And we have the rampage, or the hotshots, in which you get a weapon and you need to score as much as possible without dying or running out of ammo. I've done a few of them, but to be honest, they are quite hard to get gold. The main mission usually gives you some stuff and some XP. As you can see, we have some XP, some scrip, which is the money in game. In this case we have a shotgun, and we have some intel, which I'll show you in a moment. And the hotshot, this one I managed to get gold, luckily. In that case you will get quite a lot, plus as all the side missions have them, you get a mod. Also something I'll show you in a bit. Those are all the missions. As you can see, this part is mostly clear because you start in this area, and I've done all the missions. I thought about making a video a bit earlier, but to be honest, it got a bit out of hand with how fast I progressed. So as you can see, we have an ego rating, which is a bit like your level. The higher this gets, the more you complete it. You can get a higher ego rating by either getting enough XP to get an upgrade, which also grants you ego units, or you can get a goal. I'll show you a few. We have two types. We have seasons and episodes. Episodes will be released every week and run a bit along with television show. It's one of the ways in which they interacted to. Which, as you can see, you get 5 ego and a few key stones. You just need to get this. I can't go to San Francisco yet because I haven't done the right main mission yet, and it's guarded by a giant beast which one-shots you twice in a row. And you have the season ones, which we have a bit more time to do. You will have all kinds of things. These are, for example, things to explore. Just go everywhere, do a few stuff, get some medals. And of course you have the meta achievement or challenge, which gives you some more rewards. So we have a few areas which all have these kinds of things. We have some co-op maps. We have Arc Falls, as you can see. These are the groups of most of the groups of the enemies which are there at the moment. We have multiplayer. We have ego evolution, which is the leveling. We have some combat. This is mostly geared towards different kinds of weapons and combat. We have some vehicles in the games, and of course they also have their own stuff. We have reputation, which you can get by completing daily or weekly contracts. And we have some social stuff. I have to admit, in these kind of games I'm normally not that social, so I'll have to work hard on those. As you can see, we have contracts. I'll show you this one. Echelon is mostly PvP. We have the daily one, which is reset. Well, I live in UTC +2, and I believe it will be reset around 9 PM. But it's worldwide, so I believe it's noon if you live in Pacific time, in which most of the stuff is focused, because it's also where the show runs first and where Twine Worlds has a headquarters. So we also have the weekly one. Of course, this usually takes a bit more time. Echelon is mostly for completing PvP stuff. As far as I know, Paradise is mostly for co-op maps, and the other three I haven't found out what they do just yet. I just know every thing will give me new reputation. You get 10 for dailies, 50 for weeklies, so it's worth the effort mostly. Now, like I said, these are tied in with the episodes. This sometimes means that we just get so we always get some pursuits.
Human and Votans incoming. Looks like the raiders found us.
And sometimes we will be able to get some extra missions. I must admit that I only started playing the game after it came out, so after the show came out, so I haven't seen any of the pre-show missions, but they said that they were pretty good. We'll see in the future. Now for the loadouts. Most of you who play shooters know a bit about this. Different loadouts, different weapons. I have one which I use mainly in PvP, with an assault rifle and a shotgun. I like it. You also have a vehicle, a shield and a grenade. The vehicle can be of a few types. In this case I have an roller, which is a dune buggy. But you can also have these kinds of vehicles and Dodge Challengers. We have other kinds, but I don't have them, so can't show them. The best way to show you what kinds of things we can have is in the stats menu. You have some money, different kinds. Scrip is just the in-game money. Bits is the real money, which you can buy. You'll have some key codes. You can buy some stuff using those. And we have Arc Salvage, which is also used in all kinds of things. The Salvage Matrix, for example, and you can buy key codes with them. We have some different kinds of ammos. You can stock these up anytime, as long as you can find. I'll show to you. I know it's one around here. Of course, all enemies drop stuff, and otherwise you can just fill your ammo up with these. They are all over the place. Of course, I also show you the power and the perks later. So we have a few different kind of weapons. You can level up all your weapons. Every level up gives you something extra. As you can see, I've used light machine guns the most. I already have min 5% reload time. My crit multipliers are 2% higher. My recoil is 2% less. My fall of damage is 4% higher. And next to this we also have crit multiplier. Next level. I'm not exactly sure what this bar means. I guess this is max level, but we'll find out later. We also have the vehicles on here, same stuff. So yeah, quite a few types of weapons. Also, as you can see, some of the weapons are divided in subcategories, such as combat shotguns, pump shotguns, and sort of shotguns. They are all shotguns, but they work differently, and the same can be said for some other things. So let's show you a bit about the game. In the top left corner you can see my ego rating, which is 440 at the moment. You start at 10, I believe. I didn't really notice at that time, but you if you keep doing missions and everything you come across, you will level up pretty quick. The white bar is my shield. When I get hit with most things, first thing to go is my shield, and then the red bar, which is my health. Although I have noticed that there are some reasons that your health will be touched first. You can get some elemental damage such as fire and electricity, and I've noticed that fire tends to eat health first before it starts eating your shield. Other than that, you can see the clover, which is one of the boosts. Normally you can buy them. As you can see, I have a boost on myself. I'm not quite sure how I got it. On the Defiance website you can you have a sort of mini game, and all the media and everything you can that they released, you can find some codes, 6 digits. I believe they released 220 codes, but if you can find 120 you get all kinds of goodies. So I did that, got a bit extra from it. I believe the boost is from that. And left of the red bar you can see a tiny portrait, which is my self revive. If I go down, I have 2 options. Well, 3 basically. 2 I can do myself, and 1 requires someone else. I can either get up myself, which is the self revive, but it has a cooldown. I can choose to extract to the bound point, which is in this case the Iron Demon range, as you can see here. It activates as soon as you come close. These are scattered all over the map, but that costs you some scrip, and you can get revived by someone else, but unless you're doing something with others, there's a small chance of that happening. As you can see, we have vendors. This one is a bad example. We have all kinds of vendors. As you can see, this one only sells you mods. You have 4 mod slots, which can increase your weapons a bit. And most of the vendors have some specials which you only can get at that time. So it's always interesting to look at them for a bit. Now, as I said earlier, we have a lot of missions to do, but we also have arc falls. Arc falls are when some debris from the ring crashes down on the earth. You can get some loot from that. You have minor arc falls, which is just one of those little ones with the arc fall emblem in them. Those are done as soon as you clear that one out. It depends on which one you get, what you have to do. And you have the major ones, which you can see here. It includes all kinds of small ones inside the big circle, and as soon as you clear them out you will get a boss battle in another one. These are pretty dynamic and they are on a lot of the time. As you can see, we have 3 right now. This one will have the boss battle right here. This one still has to clear 2, and this has 4 active. So quite interesting. Now, as I shown you earlier, you have goals. These goals will get you, for example, some intel which you can use. I'll close this for now. You also get a lot of data recorders all over the place, which means you can check a lot of the background story of the game. This is all just something you can collect. You have a social part, you can go in clans, you can chat, you can search for people. You have of course the settings, the store, which can unlock all kinds of things. As you can see, you can use the script of the bits, which you can see the price right here. Of course, if you buy in bulk you get more for your money, but the question is if you want it. You have log boxes, will give you random gear. You have boosts for all kinds of things. You have vehicles. As you can see, this is a Cerberus, something I don't have at the moment. I only have rollers, and I forgot the name for these ones. And now I only use rollers at the moment. So you have some outfits, which is really only cosmetic, which is good if you ask me. And you can get some extra inventory slots because you only have a few, and you have no banking capability whatsoever. These increase over time as your ego gets higher. Certain ego ratings unlock extra inventory slots. That coating I told you about also gave me a few extra slots. I use it mainly to of course lug around the gear which I have in my loadout slots, plus some reserves. Now, as I showed you here, I leveled my weapons, but the sad thing about weapons is, I'll show you the one I have equipped right now. As you can see, the weapons themselves have an experience bar. As soon as this is full, it will unlock an extra stat, but it will also mean that I no longer can use this gun to level my light machine guns bar. So that's the reason I have 2 or 3 for most of the weapons which I use, just so I can have some reserve when it runs out. You can see all kinds of things about weapons. As you can see, we have well, this is a shotgun, bad example. This is a light machine gun. Every shot does about 404 damage, 8 shots a minute. The magazine is 85 bullets. I know for a fact that it uses these bullets, so we have 500 max with us. This is the reload time. Of course, speaks for itself. Every time you reload, you take that long. So if you're smart, to time it right. We have the quad multiplier, the quit multiplier. If you hit them in the right spaces, for example, humans mostly in the head, then it will do 1.5 times the normal damage. Had that one selected. The bloom, I can show you. Wrong weapon. As you can see, I have my crosshair right here, focused on the barrel, and if I shoot, it becomes wider and my accuracy becomes less. The lower your bloom rate, the slower it goes, the crosshair widens. We have a few other stats which you can't always see, things like fall off damage you saw earlier. Fall off damage just means that every weapon has an optimal range. As soon as you get out of that optimal range, you do less damage, and of course this concurs with the fall of damage. You can fast travel to certain areas, also good to have. It saves you a lot of travel time in the long run. I mean, yeah, it's nice to just come across random events and get some extra experience and script from it, but sometimes you just want to go get somewhere quick. Now, as far as I can tell, that is most of the basic stuff of this game. Like I said, I've been playing it for a bit. I really like it. Oh, I'll show you a few more things. Forgot them. We have matchmaking, which is 3 different things. I have unlocked only a few of them, so I can't show you more. We have the co-op, which enables you to go into a group and do a mission. For example, I believe it was this one. You go into a bunker, you battle all kinds of people, you have to rescue a few people, and of course at the end of the map you will fight a boss. You usually do them at 4, I believe, so can do a bit. You can heal in this game. I'll show you how it's done in a bit. But you can't heal health, you only can heal shields, but seeing as they take damage first, as long as you can keep shields up, it's okay. Then we have competitive. In this case I have only 2 team deathmatch maps which I can play. I expect to see something else like capture the flag or something in the future. I'm not sure if it's already implemented or not. I only know that I only unlocked 2 with my ego rating. It goes up way higher, so I don't know what the upper limit is. I know that one of those pursuits I showed you earlier has one which has a goal of 4,000 ego rating, so I know it's a lot more. We have Shadow War. This is pretty huge. These matches can go to 64 against 64. But at the moment it's a bit hicky when you could do them, seeing as not everyone is participating in them. That's all except this one a bit. As I said, you have the salvage matrix. You can add mods to a gun. You can break it down to arc salvage. You can attach mods, retrieve mods, remove mods, retrieve mods, and mod slots. If you retrieve mods, you will destroy the gun, and if you remove the mods, you will destroy the mods, so you have to think a bit about it. And the last thing is the ego grid. You have 4 activated powers, which are overcharge, which is a damage boost for a bit, and if you have an empty magazine, it will reload instantly. You have decoy, which gives you a decoy which at least the AI will attack. I don't know how it works in PvP. I haven't used it yet and I haven't seen it used yet, so couldn't tell you. If you press the button a second time, you can teleport to it. We have cloak, which is invisibility for 15 seconds. If you shoot, you can be detected. You see a faint glimmer and an outline of someone. And of course you have, I believe it's here somewhere. And as you can see, you have some things which can reveal you. Like in this, if you use this perk and you activate decoy, you will see everything that's cloaked. And you have blur, which means you run extra hard and your melee damage does more damage. Next to that, you can unlock perks. As you can see, I have a few equipped. Also with ego ratings, you will get extra perk slots. So I haven't been able to unlock all of them, but then again, I only have a few perks and I just barely managed to level them up. As soon as you unlock a perk, you can unlock all adjacent perks after it. Something I can't show you at the moment is the limits. For example, the outer 3 wings you could select from the beginning, but I know for example that these 4 are only available after you have an ego rating of 250, and your active powers can only have one skill point in it per 100 ego rating. 400 allows you to get the max. So as you can see, you have quite a few choices. I myself chose to do a bit more damage when I'm using a vehicle, get some extra health, take a little less damage. This will get you some more ammo. I'm using a light machine gun, which, well, at the moment I have one which only does burst damage, bursts 3 to 5 shots, but yeah, things like assault rifles and so only takes you a few minutes to get through all your ammo, so getting some more is pretty useful. Of course, we have things like health regeneration. I don't know how balanced it is, but then again, you can all get the same stuff, so should be pretty balanced. As you can see, this is more or less the class system. It's the weapons you choose, it's the perks you choose, and the powers you choose. And this means that everybody can get everything. Now, seeing as I've shown you most of the things, it took long enough to be honest, I'll just start off a main mission. So you can see how that goes. This is something only you can see. It has to do with the ego implant, which also gives you the powers and the perks and everything. As you can see what you have to do before you accept.
This is bad. This is all very bad, guys. Without a way of tracking the cell, we'll never find it. What the hell are we supposed to do?
Whoever hired those echelon mercs has to have it.
Well, obviously, lady. But who? Who hired the mercs? And who has my arc cell?
Echelon? That is an entertaining coincidence. I saw the squat, irritating Liberata male talking to several of them this morning. I guess that was the aorta after all.
Are you talking about Varys?
I am not certain, Mr. Carl. I am not one to name the specimens I dissect.
No, you weirdo. The person you saw talking to the mercs. Was it Varys?
Oh yes, that is his name. Varys Seleptor.
You need to talk to that Hagisi and find out what he's up to. Where did you see him?
The water processing center.
Go talk to him, but don't mention I sent you. Just pretend you're looking to make some script. That's the only agenda he doesn't question.
So the white
Erin
female
said
is
she just saw Varys at
an
the processing
indigent.
center. Get over there.
I
and find
heard
out
some
what he's
rumors
doing.
that they will be one of the races you can play after the downloadable content is made available. So we need to go over here. I have a fast travel point, so it would be a bit dumb to travel all the way. I mean, it's one of the reasons I explored earlier. As you can see waypoints in real time. Now all your vehicles have boosts, as you can see on the right side. And if I run into enemies, they most likely will die, because it does quite a bit of damage. On the other hand, the vehicle takes damage, and if you take enough,
they're gonna kill me.
well, it's not good for you.
Those drones will provide support to the enemy. Better take them out quickly.
Well, as you can see, the enemies also have shields. So you need to take those out. It's not a full cover shooter game, but as long as you're behind something, bullets can't hit you. It's just pretty basic how that works. I must say the music is suddenly very loud. So as you can see, you have some loot and stuff. Now one thing I promised before I forget. As you can see, I have this gun, which is, I always forget what it is. It's a BMG, which is a B machine gun or so, I think. It most of the weapons, if I press right button, it focuses. This one won't. If I target an enemy and use left button, I damage them. But with the right button, I heal myself, and it links up multiple enemies or friends, so that you can heal multiple people or deal damage to multiple people. It's also, I believe, the only weapon which doesn't have ammo. Just need to recharge a bit after every hit.
Crazy miners eating people's faces was never mentioned when I took this job. Varys and the other technicians are trapped. We gotta get to my tools so I can break open the door.
So most of the missions are pretty oh boy, easy to understand if you know what you're doing. You can dodge, luckily, seeing as some of these guys use pretty annoying weapons. This usually happens when I run into a black lung. I'm not really that well in avoiding blast damage, so I tend to die at least once to a black lung. On the other hand, it's the reason why I have my self-revive.
You're the best. Thank you.
As you can see, we get some extra weapons. You can sell them later. You can salvage them for arc salvage. And as you can see, those barrels will explode pretty nice. can use it to your advantage. I must say the AI is, well, in my opinion, smart enough. When I throw a grenade at them, they
Babies?
tend to run away very fast. Which of course every smart person should do. I mean, you lob a grenade, you stand still.
Let's open that door so we can get the hell out of here.
Doesn't sound like the smartest thing, so yeah, I like the fact that as soon as they see it, they tend to run away. There are some races which won't do that much. Tends to vary a bit about the race.
Hold those crazies off while I work my magic.
Like in this instance, when they try to get through. I'm gonna regret that later, I already know. Oh boy. Of course you can melee damage. Sometimes have to if you're reloading, for example.
That hit the spot. I feel like a new man.
So sometimes it is necessary to do a bit more. So as you can see, this is one of those races
Thank you. Varys is locked up in the next tower. He's
that
your
has a bit of a different weak spot.
I can look after my own skin.
Take out that sniper.
So these are 99ers, which is cyborg. Oh boy. That also means that they tend to have different weak spots because they are part machine. Pretty logical if you ask me. But of course you need to remember that to use it. And otherwise aim for the head. Of course not as easy if they don't have a head, but most things have. As you can see, you can use the loadouts for different things. I have this one with a light machine gun, which is good on medium to close. And I have a sort of shotgun, which really devastates anything I hit up close. I have the other one with the sniper rifle and the BMG, which means if something managed to hit me, I can heal myself. Because at that distance, if they hit you, it usually means instant
Looks like we've got some incoming
shield down. And of course I have one which is a bit better in PvP, because as you can notice, I need to stay quite still for it to be accurate. And of course that means in PvP that you just die.
Detecting more 99ers on their way.
So I have an assault gun which does less damage, but I can shoot a lot more with it in one go. And it has a shotgun which fires explosives. so that I don't have to hit them all at once with a few pellets.
Almost there. Just a couple more bolts.
Of course, each enemy has its own particulars. Like this gold rusher. As soon as its shield is down, it gets an advanced shield regenerate. And it rages, does a bit more damage. Quite interesting. One of the things you have is some things have nanite damage, which is more like elemental damage. If you get hit by electricity, I can't use this anymore for a time. You have things like radiationing something which does a bit damage, but it also slows you down. You have fire which bypasses the shield, and we have a few more which I don't really know what they do yet.
Oh, come on.
Something tells me I get a boss. Of course, everything which is elite does a bit more damage. Quite logical. Always smart to take out the healers first, if they have them. To be honest, it's the first time that I run across them. But it probably won't be the last.
Don't judge me for being scared. I'm not the one with all the weapons. I know you're here with Karl von Bach. I know what you're looking for. And it just so happens that I know where it is. But you're going to need to go through more rust jobs to get it. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. I'll send some echelon mercenaries to give you backup. But you'll have to do the bulk of the work. This is your show, not mine.
As you can see, that was another one of the races. I believe Liberata, something like that. Can't be certain on the top of my head, but close enough. That's something I know for certain. So let's see. I've gotten a few extra things. At the moment I don't use any submachine guns, I just don't like them. As you can see, these kinds of things don't do as much as this, so I don't use them. And I already have a rocket launcher, which is these kinds. And I seem to have found me a second one just now. You can only sell things you don't have equipped, so you need to look out a bit in what you're selling, but most of the time it's not really that much of a deal, that big of a deal. So that one, I already have 3, it's enough. This one finally has backup, I haven't used them yet. I'll probably use a new one forward. I'm waiting for my 4th and 5th loadout, because I know I can do a bit more with them. But like I said, I only have a small inventory, so I need to think about what I want to use. As you can see, we have new missions. Usually get them. Main missions you usually get after a bit of time. Now it's pretty quick. And as you can see, it also unlocks side missions.
Hurry up and get to the mine. Patience isn't one of Echelon's best qualities.
So, need to get here. Just put a waypoint. Makes it a bit more easy for me to find a way. Because it usually tries to find the quickest way, which is accessible.
I need some help here!
Of course. Then you have a tree in the way. Stucco happens, they say. One of the nice things about this is that for all the races they made really interesting backgrounds about in which planets they originated, which other races they known before, how the society is. And one of the things I really like is they took in a linguist and they developed all the languages. So I know for a fact that Iratian and Castellan have almost full languages, and all the other ones have at least some excerpts which are pretty good. Let's get some shield back. As you can see, health regenerates, but well, shield depends quite on the shield you have. The one I have at the moment only regenerates 40%, I believe, per second, but it also regenerates after 3 seconds. So I can spring back pretty quick. Like I said, I'm usually not that good with black lungs. But we'll take him out quick enough. Oh boy. As you can see, I have the advantage of having some distance, which gives me enough time to avoid most of the damage. Not all, of course, but can't be helped. So this is part of the main mission, but you find these kind of events all over the place, in which you have to eliminate something. It's quite usual to see those kinds of stuff.
Take down the defenses. Echelon mercs will file in to mop up once you're done. This way I can avoid their outrageous casualty fees.
As I said, it is important to reload whenever possible. Takes a bit of time. You never know when you have the time again to do it once more. As you can see, electricity can't zoom in right now. As soon as you are spotted, all kinds of enemies come towards you, so it tends to be smart to get yourself somewhere they can't attack you all too easily. A DK is also a good idea. if only to give you some more time to kill them before they kill you. Oh boy. As you can see, different situations call for different approaches. Like I said, I like my light machine gun the most, but it's just not always the best thing to use at that time. I mean, that sniper could have taken out my shield in one shot probably, and half of my health.
I've jumped the firewall. Nice.
So it's important to keep those kind of things in mind. So I have to admit, I don't really like the Gold Rusher. Tend to be really hard to destroy. But even then, they still are taken out with relative ease if you do it right. So as you can see, using some environmentals can be pretty good. Oh, a spawn point. Explains why there's so much of them in one place. Of course, if you do this right, then you will almost never have to leave a sniper post, only as soon as you run out of ammo. And that usually takes long enough that you can sit out quite a lot of aggression. Like I said, environment can be a good thing if you know how to use it.
I'm through the security and in the system.
Can take out groups in one shot if they are positioned just right. Won't be often, I'll admit that, but you never know.
We're in.
miners have rigged this place to explode. Use the radio to call in Echelon's demolition experts.
Oh boy. I have to admit, that went horribly wrong. So, the first time I have to expect. Like I said, I didn't expect it to go this wrong. But tends to happen if you misthrow a grenade.
The Echelon squad is on their way.
Alabama 1, move into position and set up a perimeter.
You, what are you doing?
Oh boy. So, I'm going to die again. I'm really outnumbered. I have a bad position. And they are using explosives. Which, without room to maneuver, can't really be avoided. As you can see, I get some help from some other NPCs. Sometimes you have a player in the area, he can help out, also a good thing. So now the black lung is down, we should be able to clear this up a lot better. Like I said, a few enemies you can control easily by yourself, but this much, not. It's just too much. As far as I noticed, we don't really have to deal with fall damage. Which is a nice thing. Because at least you don't have to use the slow way, which is the stairs.
The rush jobs are gone! Move in! Take the mine!
Detecting multiple raiders incoming. This should be interesting.
So I'm guessing we need to fend off another attack. What you just saw were the 99ers, which, like I said, are cyborgs. These are raiders, they just want to wait. Pretty self-explanatory. Tend to be an annoyance. At least they don't have shields, which the 99ers do tend to have. Like I said, I have the shotgun for such occasions. So let's see.
Bomb sighted. I'm on it. Moving.
This should.
You bastards! Get in there and take that mine!
Contact.
So I'm guessing we will get another boss, something, any minute. As you can see, they can become quite annoying. Tend to attack from all different sides. Which of course usually means just trying to survive against all odds. As I've said, fire can be quite annoying.
Damn it! I'm dying here. Thanks.
So let's focus them down a bit.
Bomb sighted. I'm on it. You see any more of them?
Right into our trap!
Push them back.
So let's see. Should be nearly completed with this mission. I'll try to show you some other content after this. As you can see, we can do quite a lot.
No mercy.
Side missions are usually smaller versions of the main missions, just doing a little bit of clearing out or something like that. You usually do them within a couple of minutes.
All right, goddammit! This is a raider mine now!
Well, main missions usually take 15 minutes to half an hour. to admit that one shouldn't have missed. So I'm guessing this wave will have the boss finally. As you see, we have more than enough underlings to kill. So as you can see, as long as you know how to take care of most of these enemies, they aren't too hard. Of course they are still not easy, but if you're able to deal with them a bit more easily, it tends to go a bit more easy too. So let's see what else we need to do. We really should have finished by now. I know I only have a few more missions until I can get to San Francisco, but shouldn't take too much.
Good work. Area secured. I'm not detecting any trace of the arc cell. It's definitely not here, and it may never have been.
Nice job. That mine will be quite lucrative for me. Come back and we'll have a drink to celebrate. Oh, and sorry about the miscommunication regarding the cell. That's a tough break.
I have to admit, I expected.
That Haikisi lied. The cell was never in that mine, and he knew it. Go talk to that idiot and make it clear how serious we are.
Hey, bud. Varys is here at the crater bragging about stringing you along. It also sounds like he got a lead on what you're looking for. Get down here and I'll help you out.
I have to admit, I expected a boss battle. Like something special, elite. Guess we'll have to take comfort in that we had to kill more than enough to compensate for it. So let's show you an arcfall. This is a minor one.
We've got an arc fall on its way. You never know what's going to come out of those things, so take precautions.
As you can see, we Hellbug season started. Means we have elemental Hellbugs. There are all kinds of Hellbugs. I explained them a bit in the third episode with the background info. And otherwise, I know the Defiance wiki has some more info on them. As you can see, the archers tend to be annoying. You have the Skitterbugs, skitterlings, which don't do that much. But if you let them live too long, they can hurt you a bit, and they can mutate in a warrior or if it's not a warrior, they can mutate into an archer. So you always have to watch out. As you can see, these are reasonable big bugs. But if you have the Hellion or the Matron, they are even bigger. So as you can see, I do quite a bit less damage to these. Comes from the hard shells. You have to hit weak spots to do really a lot of damage. Usually it's in the open mouth or on the back. Depends a bit on the bug, but I do hope to have one electric archer which I can kill. Need it for my pursuit. So if I get one more, I guess not. As you can see, this is just a minor arc fall. But to be honest, you won't be able to solo it. It's just a bit too hard. Too many enemies at once. As you can see, they can be quite chaotic, especially if you're not used to them. But it's not that hard, you just revive someone if you die.
I'm detecting instability in the crystal. It's gonna explode. They never stood a chance.
And as you can see, you get a bit of a overview in the end. Of course, you only get kills if you really kill something. Play revived is also healing, I understand. If you heal a certain amount, you will get an extra revive or something. The damage you do. You will get some keystones, some XP and some scrip. As you can see, you get the top 20 can be watched right here. Still don't understand the 19 revived, but one of the disadvantages of this game is it had to be released on a schedule because of the TV show, and sadly it meant that it had a few more bugs than we're used to, and they couldn't put we have a shadow war going on right here. Like I said, it's sometimes difficult to get them, but what I was saying, the disadvantage is that they needed to release in time for the TV show, so they couldn't push back the release date. Normally this isn't that bad, but seeing as it's an MMO and it could have used some fine tuning, they're still finding some bugs, but I must say they are working really hard to fix everything, so doesn't really bother me that much. Don't know how others think about it, but I haven't noticed most of the bugs being seeing as I was 2.5 weeks late. But we'll just have to see if we find something else. I mean, this morning I had one of those minor arc falls, and instead of being on the ground, the crystal was a few feet up in the air. Nothing really disturbing, but it should be fixed sometime. As you can see, there is more than enough stuff to take cover behind. When you're driving, it becomes a bit of an annoyance because it's always in the way. But then again, it does mean that you won't get killed. So I guess this is one of the last minor events in this major arcfall. We have to destroy the crystal. Of course, not that easy to do. Seeing as everybody took too long, we have a monarch, which can be quite annoying. Like I said, it gets a bit chaotic at times. In this case, it really was a matter of destroying that one thing.
Well, that wasn't so hard.
And now we just have to go to the... Well, I'm guessing it's the end event. As you can see, while my navigation uses the roads, if you are willing to take a shortcut, you can do so. Now and again. Depends a bit on if it's accessible by a vehicle. Now, like I said, we need quite a lot of players just to take something like this down. As you can see, it takes a few stages to destroy it. This one, for example, has 4 mounts. You need to destroy all the mounts and it will release a symbiote.
Shoot the Hellion's hideous mobs. That's the only way to hurt it.
And as soon as you do it, as it releases, you can try to kill it. It will retreat now and again, in which you need to kill the rest.
It's detached from the body. Kill it before it retreats.
So as soon as this guy dies, we have one. But of course that is easier said than done. You have to spread out a bit. Most of these things do area of effect damage. Not really that fun if you try to survive. As you can see, it goes back in. And now we have to deal with a monarch or 2. I believe 1 for now and 2 after the second time that it goes back. As you can see, we have quite a lot of people, so it goes a bit quicker than normal. you don't have this many players in one arcfall, but it's a bit about prime time right now, so shouldn't be that strange, to be honest. So, as I said, now we have to deal with 2 monarchs. And seeing as they both do major area of effect damage, you have to keep watch of 2 different monsters. Sometimes not the easiest task. As you can see, the yellow parts are parts where they're vulnerable. Not always accessible. It's mostly just before or after attack that you can hit those spots. So yeah, it takes quite a bit to take them down, really.
The symbiote is detached from the body. Kill it before it retreats.
I believe you can kill it now, which is a good thing. So that was this major arcfall. As you saw, it was a few minor ones, and as soon as you complete them, one really big one. A few times I was early enough to be one of the first here, when you're only 1 or 2 players are there at the same time, and I can say you, it's really hard to survive. As you can see, we get the top 20 right in here. I only did 115,000 damage, so not really in here, but it will get better in time. As you can see, we get a few stuff from it, but and of course you get some other loot, which you can see afterwards. So I've shown you most aspects of the game. Of course, I haven't shown you co-op or the team deathmatch, but they are all dependent on if players want to do it, so I'm not going to show you right now. It's really annoying. You want to play them, but it usually takes a bit. Now in prime time it should be not that long, but not going to try it at the moment. Maybe I'll make a future episode about it. So that's this long and winded episode. I have to admit, it didn't have as much structure in it as I usually have in episodes, but I'll just blame the fact that it's a long time, and of course just find out you can respec by using script. It's been a long time since I've done one of these episodes, and it's a fairly complex game. So not something you really can show. I see it's 9 PM, so it's noon Pacific, which means we will get some new contracts. Guess it's going to take a bit of time for them to load. Doesn't really matter. At least not to me. So let's see. As you can see, we sold quite a bit more. I had a bit more money, but wanted to buy one of each vehicle. And I bought a level 4 logs box. So took out quite a bit, but should get it back soon enough. So that's all for this time. If you have any questions, you can mail them to mail@helldrive.com. You can leave them in the comments below on YouTube, or you can leave a comment on the blog. I'll be posting the reviews of the game on the blog. Well, mostly it will be within 24 hours of the release of the episode, but like I've said, I'm in Europe, so the episodes are released around, well, it's either watching them live at 4 o'clock at night, or you have to wait until they are released here, which is usually a week later. So I don't really want to wait that long, but it takes quite a bit out of me to stay up that long and watch something. So other than that, like I said, I still have my regular shows. This will be incidental. I'll probably make another show about Defiance in the future, but that will probably be a bit about updates and some stuff they will release. Mostly it will tie in with the TV show crossovers and stuff like that. If you go to the YouTube channel of Defiance Universe, it's the official one of them, you can watch Across the Badlands, which is a live show they do after the show. It also tells a bit about crossovers. For those of you who've seen the pilot episode, as soon as Rissa and Nolan get into the ark which has crashed, they take out the crystal. And if you played before the release of that episode, then there was a mission where you saw them get the crystal. You helped them with it. It's one of the things I know they do. One of the other things is they have the most wanted contest right now, which means that if you get the most wanted rogue galleries and most wanted competitor pursuits, then you will be entered to have your likeness on the show. I'm not quite sure in which episode it will be, or even if it will be in this season. I expect so, because they do it so early, but we'll have to wait and see what they do with that. Other than that, I will probably talk, maybe make a video after all the episodes have aired. I might show you season 2. As you can see, season 1 is just this. I'm guessing that in season 2 they might make some new areas available, some new arc falls, enemies, etc, etc. We'll have to see in the future. Can't tell you about it. Same goes for DLCs. Probably be updating about them, but as I said before, it depends a bit on what we'll get in the future. so I do have some new things. So yeah, like I said, if you have any questions, mail them, ask them any way you want. And otherwise, I will see you guys next time.